It's patch time. But I have to finish. I gotta finish linking everything because it's a big patch, so I gotta get everything, all the announcements and all that. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's been ages. I think it's been over 3 weeks since I've even looked at Dota. I have not been doing Dota. Hef, excuse me. Oh, thank you.
Cold coffee.
Thanks. Excuse me. Hef is trying to slow us down here. We're gonna get the cat cam going too in a second. We'll have the links to everything. Okay. Excuse me, Hef. Get your ass out of my face. All right, all right, all right. Enough distractions. We got the multi-chat open. I see Marco Steiner. What's up, guys? Poppin' Loch Ness Monster. Here I am, guys. I'm leaving Elden Ring content. It's time to play some Dota. Let me know if audio, everything is all good. Things got a little... I feel like this is peaking, actually. What the heck? What happened to my stuff? Is my voice, like, really loud? Did my mic settings get reset? They did. Okay, how about now? This should be a little better. Don't you love Windows just resetting your mic? Classic Windows. All right, all right. I already missed my Elden Ring content. We'll have to go back at some point. We're awkwardly into the DLC. I can't just like stop in the middle of the DLC. We will have to go back at some point. I don't know when exactly though. All right, let me get let's zoom in on all this stuff so it's a little easier to read. Let me see if I can get the cat cam. He's a little out of focus. We have partial cat. Partial cat cam, lower half of the cat. And we will now... All right, let's read this and then I'll see if it pops up bigger so we can figure out how to zoom for this. Okay, I don't know what Quatero's Curios are supposed to be. Play Dota and unlock hero cosmetics for free. Greetings, heroes. I am Quatero, the unburdened. Pay no attention to my untrustworthy face. I don't know. It looks kind of trustworthy. Focus instead on the words coming from my untrustworthy mouth. What if I told you I was prepared to lavish you with priceless treasures for free? What's the catch? The catch is that there is no catch, so 1 catch total. Whoa, guys. Do you think it's old sets? Ooh. Level 1. Wins are 650 XP. What a peculiar amount. Losses are 250. Turbo is 425. Loss is 175. So it seems like Turbo is the way to grind this out if you really wanted to max out. Your first curio is available. Click to claim your complimentary item.
Ah, a hero! Welcome to Quatero's Curios.
Quatero. Papa Wanga's Poppet.
Come, step right in. Don't just stand there at the side of the road. Step into my emporium over on this other side of the road. My name
On the
is
wrong side of the road.
I am the proprietor of this establishment, or at least the small patch of roadside I've appropriated for that purpose. Here, let me.
Where's his license?
So you can get a
Stop!
look at my priceless treasures. Can I offer you anything? I have a tin of sardines I was eating. Would you like one?
I don't like sardines.
No? All right. Let's get down to business. I shouldn't even do this, but...
Oh, Hef might like the sardines, though.
You see this little fellow? Yours, free of charge, just for being my first customer of the day.
Hef. I need your head on this side, Hef. Papa Wongas, pop it! Alright, so what do we got? Oh, okay, so these are the 3... Ooh, different tiers. So, up to level 100, I guess. Available until November 5th, 2025. So what is that? That's 3 months? Okay. So it looks like it's 3 sets: Witch Doctor, Legion Commander, and Vengeful Spirit. And I guess as you just level up, you get the different sets. Set pieces. Okay, and then what are these? Event Effect. Fountain Rejuvenation. Town Portal. Blink Dag? I couldn't really... Okay, it's like red. Level Up, sure. Yules, sure. It's like a redder tinge, why not? Aghanim Scepter, okay, kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to notice it as much as the other one. So it's like red windy effects for everything. Mech doesn't usually have an effect, actually. Really doing some new stuff this time. Oh, Lotus Orb's kind of cool. I'm going to get confused, though. That's going to look like Ogre's Shield to me. And then what are these? Antiques. Receive one of over 100 previously released hero sets with a small chance of getting an Immortal or Arcana. So here's the garbage sets, but maybe a great set. And then these are the new ones. Okay. And then tier 2 also you got to get higher level for these. Okay. That's cool. I mean, it's all free, so I'm not going to complain. In addition, should I zoom in a little bit? Hold on. Here. In addition, we haven't even read the gameplay patch yet, guys. In addition to gameplay patch 7.39D, today we're shipping a new dashboard feature in Dota. For years now, outside of events, the dashboard's mostly just shown the results of your last match. Crunch the math on this, and it turns out that means for half of all players, every time you boot up the game, all you're rewarded with is a sad reminder of your last loss. I suppose that's true. We're optimistic we can do better. So we sifted through mountains of feedback until a clear pattern stood out. Players like hero cosmetics. We sifted further. What kind of heroes cosmetics? Turns out free ones. We can work with that. Today we're introducing Quatero, a completely trustworthy new character who wants nothing more than to sit on the main menu of Dota and give you free cosmetics while you play games. The only catch is that there is no catch. It's all free. Dota matches are already full of triumphant highs and devastating lows. Think of how much more fun they'll be now that every game you get that much closer to brand new content, helped along by a brand new character with a brand new tragic backstory that, trust us, he's more than happy to tell you all about. Try and get him to shut up about it. And of course, Quatero's Curios isn't meant to replace the big Dota events we're working on. It's a smaller, free feature designed to run alongside them. When things are quiet, you might see more of Quatero on the dashboard, but when the next major event rolls in, he'll happily slide to make room. Okay, so hopefully this is just something that now cycles every 3 months. Like, honestly, how much work is it? It's 3 sets plus maybe some effects. I don't know if they're always going to do new effects. Maybe they just cycle through. Giving away old sets is whatever. If this is permanent, though, then the odds of the Immortal and Arcana's got to be low. Considering you get 6 chances to get to level 100. I mean, that's cool. I hope it's not replacing the Compendium Battle Pass events, which they said it's not. So that's, no reason to doubt that. So if it's just an extra, that's cool. Didn't expect it all. I'm down for it. Your screen zoomed in. Yeah, I just wanted to... I guess you guys can't see that stuff. Yeah, it was for when we were reading, but now I guess we can zoom out again. I just want to do some quick math to see what are the... where do I see XP again? I'm going to assume it's 1,000 XP per level. And we're going to need, 650 for a win, 250 for a loss. So let's do, let's average that. So 450 XP per game. So what do we need? We need 100,000. So if you're playing normal Dota, you're going to need 222 matches, round up, I suppose. 223 matches on average at a 50% win rate to max out, which you've got 3 months to do. That's like what? You play 3 games a day. So actually, most people won't. The tryhards will hit this, but I imagine a lot of people won't actually get to 100, which I think you need 100 for the tier 2 on LC. But they did give turbo, so then what is that? 425 plus 175. So that's 300 XP per turbo game, which is 333, round up, 34 turbo games. So turbo's definitely the way to do it in terms of time, but I guess if you're a try-hard player, you don't really even need to worry about it. Yeah, it's all free, so I guess we can't complain too much. And to get level 30, which is the base... I promise we won't do too much math. 30 is 30,000, and what did I say the average for turbo? That would be 100 turbo matches. And then what did I say the average XP was for the other one? 450, right? So like 67 matches for regular Dota. That's not that bad. Like 67 matches over 3 months to get these sets for free. I mean, most of you were probably playing that much anyways, let's be real. So, I mean, that's cool. I'll do the math further on like what exactly you need to do to get every single set. I don't think that's that important right now. Does the XP goal increase? I don't know yet, but in the past, it doesn't usually. It's usually a flat, like 1,000, so that's what I would expect. So that is Quatero's Curios, so that's nifty. Let's get into 7.39D, the patch. Let me zoom in again. Actually, do I have a... All right, we'll be a little larger since we're zoomed in. Hef, the people don't want to see your legs. Could you, like, swap? Could you swap here? It would also clear up my mouse. Can I turn this any further? All right, maybe that's good enough. All right, guys, let's do this. Why 3 months? Down here. It's in real tiny text. Oh, you guys can't. I zoomed out. I forgot. Hold on. It shows down here. Oops. Get out. Real teeny tiny at the bottom. Wednesday, November 5th. So that'll be 3 months. And there's always a chance they delay it. That tends to happen quite a lot. All right, so let's get into the patch. I took a break because I was kind of bored. We've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, but we are back now to Dota. And outside of the usual patch content and like figuring out what's good, I've been kind of brainstorming. I made a really good looking graph today, guys. A little graphic for the late game, mid game decision making. That's gonna be the next series of videos I want to work on in the future once the patch starts to settle. So I've been brainstorming that while taking a Dota break. I know we've been off of Dota for a while, but happy to be back. General changes, let's do it. Okay, general changes pretty tiny. Terrain changes, increased spawn box of triangle, ancient camps. So does that mean it's going to be harder to double stack maybe? Fixed a ward spot in radiant, safe lane, hard camp. So I'm going to guess that's the camp blocking spot that if you knew about, it wasn't that big a deal, but for most people who didn't know about it, it was like impossible to find. And then removed several trees from the inside corner of the dire safe lane small camp. So that's another ward blocking tech stuff. Should we wait? Let's check this one out first, actually, because actually this is somewhat significant. Let's go. Let's try to. I'm trying to make myself use terrain by half. I'm trying to make myself use this more. All right, we lost the subject of our cat cam. I'll take it away. Okay. So what they say? They said so should be this, yeah. Okay, so if you didn't know, previously it looked like a bunch of trees blocked this area, but if you slowly slid your mouse down, there would be a gap in between the two trees, which you could place to block, and the safe lane would not, or the whoever was trying to unblock it, the off lane usually, would not be able to find this ward easily if they were using sentries like out here. But actually, right next to this spot, if you placed your sentry to the left, the sentry would give you vision to take it out without cutting trees. So I actually thought it was fine. The biggest issue is that it's very not obvious to most players until you see it done. And that's the part that's kind of like, iffy. You have to know to put your sentry there, and if not, you get totally screwed. So I think it's fair. And then looking over here, it looks to be about the same. There were some tree spots you could cut. I see a lot less trees in this corner, so there's nothing you could really do. You could still do a sentry like out here or in here in terms of unblocking the camp, but blocking the camp, it doesn't look like there is some super annoying spot. And I think that's fine. I think this camp being advantageous to the safe lane with the D-ward spot makes a lot of sense. This side doesn't have anything like that, but maybe that's the, some dire radiant balancing. And then what was I've already forgot. There were three general changes that I forgot. Increased spawn box of triangle ancient camps. So, holy peepo, wide camps. Oh my god. So this should make it a lot harder to stack beyond a certain limit. I'm going to assume that stacking once is still, plenty easy. Whoa. Hey, where's my... All right, let's pretend this coming time is it. So in the past, 33 would be plenty of time. So 33 is there's still a lot of wiggle room in terms of pulling this camp, but I imagine when you're trying to double stack and you get to 3+ and you start like really pulling them out, they probably start body blocking each other a bunch. I don't feel the need to double check that right now. I might do that later, but that's what I'm going to assume increasing the spawn box does. I guess it also means you could be annoying if you're de-warding and you're like, I might as well block the camp to be an asshole. I mean, it's a little easier to do that now too, I guess. I don't think it'll really affect warding spots too much. What about over here? Actually, the biggest pain point is that de-warding this cliff is now kind of a mess, where this box used to be a little smaller, so you could kind of like do it here. Now you're like... The best you can do is over here, which a lot of this area is kind of wasted. Maybe a bigger issue for the dire triangle. Though, that might encourage people to put the sentries down here, which I've actually been putting observers like in this area for a while now. And I think a lot of people would default the sentry to here, but now it's like this or this. Maybe we'll see more people use this sentry. That'll take some time to catch on. So I doubt it'll be for a while. How big is this patch? Not too bad. 7.39D, kind of expect it to be smaller. Okay, that's general changes. Let's go to item changes. Let me do my timestamp. Item changes. And let's zoom in a little bit again. Okay. Blade Mail. Damage bonus decreased 18 to 15. And then return passive attack damage decreased from 20 plus 20% to 10 plus 15%. So that's a lot. I don't think this matters as much to the hero fighting, because the big thing about Blade Mail is when you activate Blade Mail, and that doesn't look to be any different. You still get the like 85% bonus. But you are losing some damage when they just passively hit you, or when you activate it, you still got the passive. So I mean, it is going to be a nerf in that sense. But I think the bigger element of this is the farming speed, because a lot of Blade Mail builders would build Blade Mail and then continue to farm up for the next item, and then you just couldn't really bother them, because it's like, do we go for this Dawnbreaker or Axe? Like, they have a Blade Mail and they're tanky, but they're also farming fast. So I like the idea that Blade Mail is being pushed to be more of a fighting item. So maybe you continue to nerf, if it's not already balanced from this, maybe you would continue to nerf the passive element and buff the active part, because I do think Blade Mail should be like a active, I'm fighting kind of thing, and not like I'm farming and fighting, and I activate Blade Mail to farm this ancient stack, and now it's passive, and the creep camps lose like a fifth of their health to me over the time farming it, you know? So I like the direction this is going. And we've been in kind of a Blade Mail patch. A lot of the best heroes are Blade Mail builders, like the Dawnbreaker, the Axe, Centaur, mid lane even, Queen of Pain, Ember. There were a lot of Blade Mail builders, so I'm kind of glad they're nerfing it. Dragonlance, pretty minor, 10 attack range down. I don't think that'll be a huge deal, but let's read the rest before we think too hard on it. 10 on Hurricane Pike as well. It does mean the ranged heroes who are building this are going to be a little closer to the melee heroes, which makes a big deal for, I mean, you know, ranged heroes don't really want to get that close. Glimmer Cape, 1 extra second on cooldown. Heaven's Halberd, disarm duration from 3 to 3.5 on melee targets and 4 to 4.5. It's funny, Heaven's Halberd, they changed it to build out of the Vanguard. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. They changed it to build out of the Vanguard, super busted. Then they were like, oh, it's too good, nerfed it, died again. So I do think it could use a buff to try to bring it back into some relevancy. However, I also think a big reason you didn't do this is because the people who would build Vanguard and then like, okay, I'll go to Heaven's Halberd, they all just started building Blade Mail instead. And you didn't really want Blade Mail and Vanguard outside of like rare cases of like Crimson Guard is good. It was usually one of these items that is your, especially for offlaners, I'm going to get this first. It's kind of my bulky laning item, and I'm now too hard to kill, but it also helps me farm faster, either because I don't take damage or because I'm reflecting damage, but you didn't really need two. So I actually think that was a big reason that Heaven's Halberd was dead, is that why it's not bad, but Blade Mail's better. Maybe it was also bad. So it's getting a little bit of a buff, and maybe we'll see it a bit more. Let's see. Maelstrom, Chain Lightning no longer deals bonus damage to illusions. Whoa. I will be honest, I forget how much bonus damage it did to illusions. I don't know if anyone knows that off the top of their head. I don't actually build Maelstrom all that often. I just knew it did bonus damage to illusions, which is part of the reason illusion heroes have not been super popular, is that there's just been so many forms of wave clear, not only Maelstrom, Battle Fury, Radiant, stuff like that, but heroes just getting more AoE abilities. It was 150% bonus to illusions? Okay, thank you. So that might help, especially if you think about the timing of Maelstrom. It's the faster farming item. So you are picking this up, I don't know, 15 minutes, let's say. And then there's a Phantom Lancer, a Naga Siren, who's like got Power Treads Yasha, right? Just a couple Maelstrom procs like shreds their illusions. It'll still do damage, but less, you know, less bonus damage. So maybe this is some of what those illusion heroes needed to finally come back. The Maelstrom being able to just wreck them which was pretty popular. Mjolnir versus illusion heroes is typically good because, there's so many illusions, you reflect a bunch of lightning. So when there were illusion heroes, many people would go Maelstrom, Mjolnir, adjust the build to do that. Fixed item description stating that chain lightning deals bonus damage to illusion. Was Mjolnir not doing bonus damage? That sounds weird. It feels like it should also have. Is it not just this change? This is such a weird way to put it. It's like, hey, we changed the way this item works, and also I'll have we fixed the item description to let you know about that change. Like, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to go hand in hand. It feels weird to put it like that. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding something there. Mask of Madness, bonus attack speed down by 10. I don't feel like this item is particularly broken, but I mean, it's in a couple of the carry item builds, so sure. Octarine Core, health bonus down, mana bonus down by 50, okay. Pavis, mana, whoa. Pavis is so cheap now, 100 to 60? 40% less mana? That's crazy. Hey, guys. I've got an estimate on when Phylactery will be good again. I think somewhere around like 6 seconds maybe. Is that crazy? About 6 seconds on Phylactery. And then I think that item will start to could become relevant again around that time frame. It's just a thought. Conda as well. I mean, Conda, I don't mind if Conda's slightly higher, or if Conda's like, hey, Phylactery's 9 seconds, Conda, part of the value, it goes down to 7 seconds, whatever. I don't know, guys. I don't know why they combined these, nerfed them to the ground at the same time, and then have been like ever so slowly pumping it up by 1 second. I mean, I guess Conda was popular for a while when it was good, but this has been the slowest revert change possible. It got a 6 second increase in cooldown, and then every other patch it comes down to 1 second. I don't know. It's been a weird way to do it. Witchblade, a little less armor, and then Parasma is going to match that. Okay, so for these item changes, Blade Mail's the biggest. I think this Maelstrom could be big for illusion heroes. The Heaven's Halberd not only getting buffed, but the Blade Mail, the alternate choice, getting nerfed. We could see this more. However, reading all of this, it's a bunch of small nerfs to mostly early game items, and then Pavis got buffed. I don't know, whatever. I'll take it. Pavis buffed, but most everything else, ignoring like this, are small nerfs. A Mask of Madness down, the attack range down, which at the pro meta, a lot of the current playstyle is fast. Like, it used to be even faster with like 15-minute Torment or, go to the 20-minute Roshan, stuff like that. That got moved to 20 minutes, but it's still a pretty fast-paced meta where you kind of need to be strong in the lanes. You got to be ready to fight early because you got to be ready to go for Roche at like 18 minutes, Tormentor 20 minutes, stuff like that for a lot of drafts. So a lot of these nerfs are just early game across the board, small items that are losing a little bit of value, which all lends towards more late game, which could help the illusion heroes, which typically scale really well, but their early game is bad. So that's kind of the biggest read I'm taking from these item changes. We'll see if it's quite enough, but that's what I'll be keeping an eye out for. The coordinator just went down. I guess they have to do some other fixes, but at least we can still keep reading. Neutral item changes. Okay. Sister Shroud. This one was really popular. A lot of people really hated it. Veiled starting evasion decreased from 200. Well, a lot of people like to take it, but a lot of people hated dealing with it. 200% down to 150, which means you only get really one attack that is guaranteed evasion. And then after that, there's a very high chance you already get hit again. But the first two are now I guess the first two attacks were always the best, but I feel like after that, it's really low chance that you dodge, which this thing used to make you dodge like 3 to 4 attacks very consistently, which is part of the problem. Looks like the duration is also going down from 8 to 5 seconds, though. So I think this is a good nerf without completely killing it. Gale Guard, maybe. Gale Guard, 25 less barrier. I think that's fine. Helm of the Undying base duration increased. I think that's okay, considering it's a 100-second cooldown, which it should be. But I think 6 seconds versus 5 is okay. Units can no longer attack buildings while... Oh, you know, I think that's a good idea. Just being able to mindlessly throw your life at buildings is not very hype, and then you can't do anything about it. You know, you just can't stop them for 6 seconds. I don't think that's not very fun. That's not, you know, if we made it to 60 minutes already, like, I want that. So I'm down for that. I don't know why Helm of the Undying is up here, and then we're back to these neutrals, though. Psychic Push cooldown, sure. Keen Eye disable duration on taking damage increase from 3 to 6 seconds. Magnifying Monocle is pretty popular. Outworld Staff, self-exile mana cost increase from 40 to 65. This one's also quite popular, because yeah, you can dodge quite a few things, at least in the current meta. Okay, enchantment changes, so health regen down across the board. I think that's okay. Mana regen, this is the big one. This is what a lot of heroes really like to go for. So from 1 to up to 3.25 to 0.8 up to 3.2. It's actually not that bad for max level. It's the early level that's going to hurt a bit more. You're going to lose a spell every, like, extra X minutes, whatever. It depends on your mana cost. Hi, Albert. Thank you. You think Echo is now better for Dawn instead of Blade Mail? I mean, sometimes people would still go Echo Saber if they were being more aggressive. I think that is still doable, and definitely more enticing now that Blade Mail's nerfed. I don't think Blade Mail is completely dead, but you're going to be more careful with when you buy it rather than every game's a Blade Mail game. You know, it's like Phantom Assassin, yeah, Blade Mail game. High armor or high physical damage heroes, you know, Blade Mail game. So I won't say it's totally dead, but I do think if you're having a good game, aggressive potential, you could do the Echo Saber. I think if you're having a bad game, that's where you were happy to go Blade Mail. Maybe you still do, but you might end up just going Auras a bit sooner, or maybe there's some other farming item you can get to then go for Aghanims. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'd have to look further into that. Okay, neutral items, nothing too crazy. I'd say Sister Shroud seems like the biggest nerf. Hero changes up next. Okay. Steam is offline for you guys as well. Yeah, they probably have to, like, fix something. You guys can't see it because I zoomed in, but yeah, it's offline for me. But we're still reading the patch anyway, so it's not a big deal to me right now. It'll matter in about, I don't know, another hour or so. Maybe 2, 3, 4. Let's see how slow we read. Okay, Abaddon is what? Level 10, Aphotic Shield, provides HP regen, decrease from 12th. I don't know if I agree with this, but whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I actually think Abaddon's in an okay spot. Core Abaddon flex between carry and offlane, and then sometimes you actually stick him support. For the strong dispel versus like Batrider and some of the other heroes, that's kind of his place. I think Core Abaddon is the bigger problem if you want to nerf something, and I feel like this is better for support Abaddon. However, that's at the pro meta, and I don't know. Let me take a look at what his pub win rate is, because I haven't been checking lately. 53%-ish. Sure, why not? I don't feel that strongly about it. I'm just gonna move on. Axe, Berserker's Call. So mana cost is gonna be 10 higher. Culling Blade, kill armor bonus decreased. Okay. I actually didn't realize he got so much armor on those kills. I didn't realize it was this high, now that I'm seeing the numbers again. So actually, I think that's a good change. The blade mail change already hurts Axe a good amount. However, I think Axe, in terms of who benefits off the active blade mail, Axe is like number one usually because you call people. I guess Legion's also up there, but Axe is AoE. And then I think the bigger nerf to blade mail is the passive farming speed, which of course will affect Axe, but I don't think it'll affect him as much as most other blade mail builders because he has Helix, counter Helix, and that's still plenty fast farming speed. Granted, it might take you like one extra spin based on the amount of damage you're losing to blade mail nerf, but you gotta do it while running to the next camp anyway, so I don't even know if it'll be that big of a deal. I'm not the offlane player building a bunch of blade mails. I think Axe is maybe one of the ones who's gonna feel okay about it. But now combining it with some of this stuff, he's a dumb hero who often skips magic stick, so the mana cost nerfs will hurt him. I don't think it's the end of the world for him. I think it's a good nerf, but I don't think the ult change kills him. Axe, I think especially for pubs, Axe will still be in a good spot. I think we'll have to see about Pro Dota. Let's see, Bat Rider. So base agility going down by 2, damage decreased, the radius decreased. I think the radius is a good one. Also, potentially knockback distance could have been a nerf. Bat Rider support, super popular. A lot of pros in pro matches. No one plays this hero in pubs, but that's just always how it is. He's very frequently in that first phase ban. What I'm a little bit surprised about, guys, is that they didn't nerf the Ags. I feel like that is kind of what gave him extra life. Because in the past, it's like, okay, you get your strong laning stage, you get the early blink, your early game hero, blink lassos, BKB piercing, but eventually you start to drop off, and they buy Lincolns and Lotuses, they might get a strong dispel, it's like they get the counterplay. And then you go, I'm going to get 2 of them. And that's the crazy part to me. Like, his scaling as a support is way better because now you can do this Aghanims. And they didn't touch it. They nerfed his early lane more than that. So I'm perplexed by that. I think Bat Rider will still be quite popular at the pro scene. Your laning will be worse, but my prediction, you're actually going to see more Bat Rider because Bat Rider was in the first phase of bans so much that no one played him and you didn't see him in the games because he was banned. People are going to let him slip through the draft a little bit more, potentially. And then you actually see him picked up in the first, second phase type stuff. So nerfed, but actually see more Bat Rider. Steam down for a lot of people. Well, we'll just take our time reading the patch since, we wouldn't even be able to play anyhow. Okay, Bloodseeker, surely a buff, right? Ag's Scepter heal on pure damage dealt increased from 30 to 35%, and then Bloodright, which is pure damage, 10 more damage at level 1, and 10, it's flat 10 damage. Okay, not as strong of nerfs buffs as I thought he would get, but maybe the percentage is better. But this is an Aghanim Scepter, so I mean you got to get to that point. So I don't know. It feels like a pretty small buff to Bloodseeker, who you sometimes see as a response to Pango, but really that's kind of it. Bounty Hunter Coordinator just went back up for me, guys, so maybe it's back. Bounty Hunter ally bonus gold increase. Oh yeah, we love playing Bounty Hunter. 10 more gold flat. I'm a little conflicted because Bounty Hunter likes the early pace games, so I feel like a lot of these nerfs to the early items, if it becomes a more late game focused thing, then Bounty Hunter's not going to be happy. But he likes the Pavis change as a support. Maybe the phylactery change, potentially. And if other heroes are weaker in the early game, you know, that's kind of where Bounty Hunter can hit you. For pubs, I mean, the meta never, you know, for pubs is whatever. So I might try some Bounty Hunter. I don't know about the pro scene. Okay. Crystal Maiden, Freezing Field, damage increased, which I recognize I misread the last change to her, guys. I said it in my patch notes. I was like, oh, this is weird. They nerfed this. That's strange. But I realized it's actually now. There were a lot of very powerful, strong feeling comments about how could I misread this to think that this is a nerf, but it's actually a buff for the amount of time it takes before you get frostbitten with the Ags. Apologies. Genuinely, you know, I don't mean to get things wrong, but some people were really angry I could possibly misread this. And then she's getting another alt buff, 5 more damage to her level 1. That's pretty minor. Looks like max level's about the same too. Okay, small buff, I guess. Dark Willow should get more of a nerf. Let's see what she gets. Allies can no longer target Dark Willow while active. Dark Willow can still target herself. Okay. Shadow Realm, you used to not be able to target. Once you used it, no one could target you, yourself included. You couldn't even, like, salve. They reverted that, so allies, including yourself, could now target you, but enemies couldn't. And now it looks like they want to change it so allies can't help you out, which is going to be, like, Force Staff, Solar Crest, those things, but also healing spells and save spells. I don't know exactly which ones will be the biggest deal, because I feel like some of these interactions are kind of funny, where even though you're supposed to be able to target, but then you couldn't, things like that. But I guess she should die a little bit more often in Shadow Realm. I thought they would nerf her damage. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, nerf the damage on Bedlam, but let's. Your teammates weren't saving you anyways, guys. So is this really a nerf you're gonna experience in your pub games? Probably not. This one's probably fine. Keep playing Dark Willow. I think she's really good. Okay, Dawnbreaker, arguably the best offlaner in the game. Possibly best hero, or at least most flexible, safe to pick early hero. Solar Charged, which not everyone does this facet, but it is a little bit more popular. The cooldown reduction decreased from 1 to 0.8. Okay, kind of minor side. Level 15 talent Solar Guardian cooldown reduction from 20 to 15. I gotta say, for the best hero in the game, this is pretty small nerfs. But she is a blade mail builder, and this is a bigger nerf to her. The farming speed on her is a bigger deal than something like Axe. So nerfed. But as someone else mentioned, the Echo Saber build, I don't think that's bad. And it just wasn't as good as Blade Mail. And with these nerfs being kind of minor, the map is still really big. The global split push is still really strong. I feel like Dawnbreaker's still fine. It may just move on from the Blade Mail build unless it's a really good Blade Mail game. Echo Saber might be the default now, or just like straight auras, straight ags. Seems it's okay. Dazzle gained a lot of popularity. Weave, 2 second less duration. Shadow Wave, 15 more mana. Really? On Shadow Wave? Shadow Wave? I don't know why they want Dazzle to be out of the meta so quickly. 15 mana on Shadow Wave is kind of painful, actually, because that's your most used spell. I feel that Dazzle got nerfed more than Dawnbreaker. Although, item-wise, I guess he didn't really care about these changes too much. Peculiar. Dazzle just came back into the meta. It's just getting popular. The issue with Dazzle is Nothal Projection. It's not this other shit, but they really want Nothal Projection to stay, I guess. So they're trying to nerf other elements. You know, for pub games, I guess it's okay. You'll just have to be a little bit more careful with your mana usage. But 15 mana is a lot because like you use Shadow Wave a lot. It's only a 7-second cooldown. So, you know, extra 50 plus mana in a given team fight, something like that. Though I suppose Saving Grace is Pavis, 40 less mana on using it, and that's a decent item for Dazzle, at least support Dazzle. So maybe that'll make it in the end. Okay in the end. Doom. Bonus gold. Down by 5 at level 1, 20 at max level. This is so bizarre. This is so bizarre to me. I think Doom is a very good flex pick hero. Not every pro team likes him, but you know the ones that really do. And part of the reason his stock went up is that carry Doom is quite viable now. Carry Doom doesn't even get Devour for the first few levels. Yeah, the farming speed will go down a little bit, 20 gold per Devour. But really, you get the Midas, you use it, you sell it, you get the Radiance, you get another Midas. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I think Doom will still be hot shit. He doesn't even really like build any of these items either. In that sense, his stock went up. Doom was not a blade mail builder as an offlaner, and as a carry, part of the reason he became popular as a carry is that he was tanky enough to deal with all these tanky offlaners like Doom, like Doom, I guess, but Axe and Dawnbreaker, stuff like that. Like he doesn't care as much about blade mail, and his scaling's actually surprisingly good. I was a doubter, but having seen Dooms make it to some late games with decent early activity, it's pretty surprising. So I think this misses the mark on hurting Doom. I could be wrong on how... Am I, though? It's like 70-second cooldown. Let's pretend it's max from the very start of the game. Let's say you get 40 uses out of it. That's not even 1,000 gold you're losing on a hero like Doom. And that's over 40 minutes. So... And you don't even have it, maxed out at level 1. So I feel that Doom is actually going to be better despite this nerf. I feel like the relative other heroes in the pool have actually made him go up. Now, maybe people won't play carry Doom as much because like, oh, I don't need to because it's like, Axe and Dawnbreaker aren't as popular anymore because the blade mail got nerfed. That might be true. But I actually don't think Doom carry scaling is that bad, especially if you get like a Monkey King in the mid lane, something like that. So I kind of think we'll see more Doom. Hey, Lax, what's up? I thought Devour was insta-pick on Doom because money. So it used to be. Now you usually start with Infernal Blade and then max Scorched Earth, 1 point in Devour at level 4. And I think depending on how much you're free farming, you either max out Scorched Earth and then Devour, or sometimes you get more points in Devour and then Scorched Earth. But I think it's usually Scorched Earth first, which means you get 1 point in Devour at level 4, and then you start to max it after like level 8. And then you use Doom to get kills, you get the Midas, use it, sell it, Radiance, buy it again, use it, sell it if you need to. Actually, a lot of Dooms end up just holding the Midas. Yeah, I mean, you'll lose some money, but rough napkin math, like 500 gold. Okay, Earth Spirit. Min base damage increased by 6. Holy shit. But the minimum. So the damage at level 1 increased from... So 3 extra damage on average. That's not bad. I don't think this is not really the reason I feel he's held back in the meta, but I mean that's something, I guess. Earth Spirit players still rolling in their graves probably, but I mean, we're getting there. This is better than like his previous past buffs I remember being like pretty pitiful. Let's see. Yeah, like who cares about this? Who cares about that? Minor, you know, whatever. Damage. This is the killer. I don't think there's enough to bring him back into the meta, but I feel like it's at least a good change. Yeah, more reliable last hitting for core Earth Spirit, which is usually mid Earth Spirit too. I want support Earth. I saw mid Earth Spirit. It's cool. I don't mind seeing it, but I actually want support Earth Spirit to come back, and I don't think this will be like huge for that. You know, what's his brother getting? Searing Chains mana cost increased from 95, 100, 105, 110 to 95 still, but 125 at max level. People have been using Chain Gang lately, and you do use this. Use this quite a lot. But I was seeing a build where you go like Blade Mail Yules to be more active. Maybe you won't do that anymore with this Blade Mail nerf. But Yules kind of covered your mana cost as far as I could tell. I'm not an Ember Spirit player, so I don't know how close it is to being like on the edge. But I think that's a good nerf. I don't think this kills the hero. Enchantress. Experience bounty on creep cast increase from 35 to 40. Is this how much experience I get? Not how much they get when they kill it, right? Yes, okay. Sorry, you guys can't read this, but we get 40% XP when we use it on a creep instead of 35. Okay, as part of the patch being a little boring, just because I play a lot, I cast a lot, I've been kind of bored with the heroes I play, even though I like some of the popular heroes. Like Nature's, who we'll see if he got changed. I was thinking about learning Enchantress. Small buff to her, so maybe we will do it. Downside, she liked Dragonlance Hurricane Pike, and this hurts her damage with the impetus. She actually built a lot of these small early game items, so that's kind of sad, but maybe I'll still play some Enchantress just for fun once we try some other stuff. Are you going to leash again? No? Then it sucks. Faceless Void, Chronosphere is what? 5 less seconds? Sure. Time Zone, also 5 less seconds, but doesn't leash, so nobody is going to care. Time Lock bonus damage, 6 higher at level 1. Those buffs themselves are kind of whatever to me. The reason a lot of the pros don't play Faceless Void is that he's a little slow compared to other heroes. And Faceless Void, you do get like Maelstrom Mask of Madness, but I think if the game slows down, that's actually good for Faceless Void, you know? And it's TI time, you know? I'm surprised there wasn't a bigger buff. You usually get the big teamfight ult buffs, you know, around TI. It depends how much the game slows down at the pro level. Will determine how good I think Faceless Void ends up being. How much the game slows down is hard to tell in a given patch. Outside of like massive changes like the Tormentor's 5 minutes slower. Stuff like that. Let's see. Grimstroke. Phantom's Embrace. Decrease cooldown 6 seconds level 1 is quite a lot. You usually leave this at... well, actually, sometimes it depends. Sometimes you max it to level 5. By level 5, you get to level 3 Phantom's Embrace for the extra hit when the silence is critical. A lot of times you don't do that. You max Q or E first, and then you put Phantom's Embrace at level 3, which means it does stay at a 1-point wonder for a good chunk of levels, some early game time, and 6 seconds will be kind of meaningful in that. And then the Inkswell is being buffed, stun duration, by 0.3 for level 1. So some stronger early game. Okay. Maybe some, maybe Grimstroke coming back a little bit. Grimstroke 5 wasn't really good enough versus the bulky offlaners, but Grimstroke 4, we'll have to see what offlaners remain good with this Blade Mail change. Because I feel Grimstroke is very combo dependent. So even if he himself is good, but the pairings are bad, then you don't see Grimstroke. I agree. I think he's really cool. Yeah, six damage, but on the lower end. It's not obvious, especially to anyone new to Dota, but the damage number you see actually has a variance. So sometimes you hit like 47, sometimes you hit 57. So the lower damage went up, which on average is a 3 damage increase instead of a 6 damage increase, but it gives you a lot more consistency. Io, Spirits, 4-second cooldown, level 1 down at max level. It's TI time to bring back Io. Io's another hero who doesn't really love the super fast early paced game. So if things slow down a little bit, I don't think Io's that bad, actually. So I think part of the issue with Io is that you want to be the team with the global advantage in terms of, hey, we're going to show up the fights and bring our Io hero, right? But then, like, Natures and Dawnbreaker have been so good, it's like you have to pick them first if they're available. And then once they're in the game, you're like, well, do I really want Io? Because there's only so many heroes who can be global. Like, if you have Io and Dawnbreaker on the same team, it's like, okay, Dawnbreaker's not going to do anything, and then Io and the carry aren't going to do anything. So it's literally just the mid and the position 4 who have to make play somehow so that people can show up. So there's actually too much global potential when those heroes are viable. So I think that's another thing for Io, is if Natures and Dawnbreaker drop off more, then we might actually see more Io. For pub games, no. I mean, he could be the most busted hero. You still wouldn't see him. Kunkka, cleave range down by 75. Okay, guys, why does Max Tidebringer hit so far anyways? That shit's crazy to me. I'm glad it's being nerfed, and it should be nerfed further. Why can Kunkka hit so far away with Tidebringer? It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. Ridiculous. With that rant aside, does this change that much? I mean, just a couple niche cases. He did build Blade Mail as a offlaner, mid sometimes, but I think you would also skip it occasionally if you're having a really good game, go for Radiance faster. I don't think Kunkka's broken, so I think he's just good in the right situations. So I'm actually okay with the minor nerf to him. The C knows no bounds. Okay, you know, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good reason, actually. Luna, cooldown on Eclipse down 5 seconds, and the mini stun going up. So I'm actually mildly surprised to see Luna being buffed. I actually don't think she needed a change. I think the nerf to other heroes around her is enough. The current Luna build is like Mask of Madness, Manta, Aghanims, possibly a BKB somewhere in there, possibly Dragonlance. The Aghanims with Eclipse, now 5 seconds less, I think is actually kind of nifty. I think we might see more Luna. With that said, some items she likes did just get nerfed. If illusion heroes come back, she doesn't like that either, because her ultimate kind of gets wrecked by illusions. So maybe that's the bigger thing to see what happens about. Otherwise, I think that's actually kind of good for her. I think we'll see more Luna. True, Conda. If Conda makes a comeback, Luna's a really good builder for that as well. What's the full build up again now? Phylactery, Tiara. Actually, this not as good for Luna anymore. Luna has like very minimal mana issues. She doesn't really need that kind of stuff. Okay, actually, even if with that build in mind, I kind of forgot what it built out of. I actually don't know if Luna would really get it. She would probably just go Silver Edge if she needed a break. I don't think she'll do Phylactery anymore. Mirana, maximum bonus damage, just a flat 180. Sure, I think that's okay. She's not been in a great spot. She's like doable. A couple position 5 players still pick her up at the pro level, but otherwise not that popular. Monkey King. Initial cooldown increase from 0.5 to 1 second. Is that how long you have to wait before you can use it? It's not very clear to me just by hovering the ability. I do think this ability needed a bit of a nerf. He just got out of some like tricky situations with the low cooldown of it. They're nerfing the Ag Shard a little bit more as well. The damage. I don't really... I mean, that's good, but I don't really think you buy the Shard for the damage. You kind of buy it for the mobility. Granted, when you're using it aggressively, you like getting the damage to then show up and kill them faster, but... Naga Siren, really strong support, but not a good core. Deluge, nerfed. Oh, 3.5 down to 2.6 at level 1 is pretty big. And Song of the Siren, radius shrinking once again. Teeny tiny. Kunkka, guys, Kunkka can Tidebringer further than Naga can sing her song. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. I don't think this is the end for Naga support completely, but I do think part of the reason she's strong is as a combo breaker, which if, like Dawnbreaker, very televised that she's coming in. Oh, Axe blinks in and calls. So you just song, reset, you're good to go. I think that's part of her strength, as well as the carries. If you've got more melee carries that are good, you don't really want Naga Siren as much. But we had range carries that were good, so she was good as well. Here's like SF, for example. So we'll see if they get nerfed. And then I guess what I'm saying is these are good nerfs, but I think it's still a bigger thing of like what heroes are around her, because she could still be good, she could not be. Okay, Nature's Prophet, I love this hero. Let's see what they're doing to it. Agility gained down by 0.2, sure. That's not that big of a deal for support natures, which that's us. Core natures doesn't like this, but screw them. Soothing Saplings, this is the facet people go for. Heal per second decrease from 14 down to 10. Holy shit, from 50 down to 25? Dead. Sprout, damage, decrease 70. Still 70 at level 1, but 15 less damage at max. Boo. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but here's the thing, guys. And I say this as a Nature's Prophet player, so like, of course I want him to be good, but he is always going to be good as long as teleport is good. And I feel that they need to approach that differently. He has been so good because the map is so large, and he has the best teleport in the game. In terms of ease of use and freedom. There's limitations to it. But like for how soon you get it, how freely you can use it, he's number 1. This is going to make his laning stage worse. I still think he's going to be relevant. I still think he'll be relevant, but this is pretty painful. Your laning stage is not good as support natures. So you might be a little bit more careful with who you pair it with. Like, you need a stronger laner. Yeah, Lax, what are your thoughts? You just played a game of it? What do you think? Will we ever see the gold tree facet? Not until they change more of it. I just think it's too random. Whether you get the gold, someone else gets the gold, whether you get gold at all, because maybe you killed someone, but you got to move on in the fight. You don't even get time to go pick up the gold. I think that's the strange part. The time limit of like, am I gonna make it to the money? Is very strange for the facet to me. And I think you just like, I don't know if you should fully make it guaranteed, but I don't know. There needs to be something better about it for where it currently is. He does seem to be nerfed a little bit at least. Okay. Okay. We'll try him out. We'll see how he feels. Even if he is bad, I like nature, so I'll try him. But we might try some other heroes first. Necrophos. Okay, one last thought on this, guys. Nature's is top tier contested. First pick, first ban level hero for most teams. So, I mean, he needed some sizable nerfs. I think this is a sizable nerf. And that's why I still think he's still going to be okay. Maybe not first phase, first pick, but like you get to the second phase, you're like, it's a good nature's game. It's a good teleport game, whatever. Oh, their lane's not that strong. We can get away with our weaker laning stage. I still think he's a good hero. He's just not S tier busted. I think this will hurt him, but it's not like D tier. I think he's like B tier at worst. So we'll see. Necrophos, Sadist, health regen per kill increased by 0.5. Okay. That'll help his laning stage a little bit. And then in, team fights, when you get like all those stacks, it'll definitely add up when you use Ghost Shroud. The slow radius nerfed. That's probably not the end of the world. I think the biggest buff to this is going to be the laning stage. Not to underestimate. It's 8 seconds. So every last hit you get 4 extra health. I know that doesn't sound like crazy, but it really does add up. 10 extra last hits, you get 40 extra health. It's meaningful. So that might be the best part about this for Necro. It's not the like biggest buff in the world, but seems okay. Nyx, pretty sad hero. His laning stage is awful, and we are buffing the level 20 talents. Increased damage on Impale, spiked Carapace stun up by 0.1. The reason Nyx is not popular is because his lane is just so bad. Ever since they took off the insta creep kill on Mana Burn, the only time you see Nyx Assassin is when, at the pro level, is when people try to take Dawnbreaker. And then I've seen it try to be run as a counter. It works for a little bit, but eventually she gets the Aghanims, and there's just such a small window. Like, if you are not right at the target, by the time you run in close, like, she's already landed. So even the times I saw him picked, it just never was great, even in really good Nyx Assassin games. So I am not impressed by Nyx. For pub games, if you love Nyx Assassin, you tend to get by your bad laning stage, and his win rate for pubs is actually fine. It's like slightly above 50%, just because Invis Assassin is quite good in pub games. So that will still be doable, but I don't expect to see him in pro Dota at all still. Lax. Not busted, but still strong. That's what I would guess. Yeah, we'll have to try it and see ourselves. I agree that the creep kill burn thing was like too good. I'm glad with that being gone, but they should have buffed him in another way. I don't know what exactly it should be. How do we lean into him being a bug? Should we buff his move speed? Okay, what if you... it can't be as innate. Nick's sense is actually pretty good. Okay, you know how bugs, like... okay? You stand still. You charge up your move speed. Every time you're not moving, your move speed increases. And then as you move, it decreases. So then, like, in the lane, he'll, like, be behind a tree, and then he'll be like, he'll hit you, and then, slowly walk away, potentially. Or maybe he still has some move speed to, like, zip out. I don't know if that's good or not, but now that I've talked about it, I think this is a good idea. I think someone should have this. This, like, building move speed, and you're like, I think that'd be funny. Pango, level 10. Yeah, okay. Level 10. Level 10 lucky shot armor reduced by 1. Okay, sure. I actually don't hate where Pango is in the meta right now anyways. He's not super he is still like your consistent safe pick for mid and off lane, but it doesn't feel as overwhelming as it did in the past. So I don't really think he needed a nerf. However, this one's pretty minor, so I'm okay with it. And I think it'll be, okay. Phantom Assassin, 5 less seconds on Blur. And then the 15 talent, you get 5 more evasion. So Phantom Assassin did not like this Blade Mail meta, and she did not like all these bulky offlaners. I don't actually think she needs a huge buff, so I think these are fine, like some minor buffs. What she needs is the meta to change of like what heroes are popular and why everyone is building a freaking Blade Mail, So I think that's actually quite good for PA. Whether she becomes, top tier, I'm not so sure. But these changes seem small, but I think the changes as a whole are good for her. Primal Beast, Pulverize, 2 seconds. Count them. 2 less seconds. Let's go. It's fine, sure. It's a buff, I guess. It's so minor. A couple teams do like Primal Beast. They prioritize him like an okay amount. And he does build a Blade Mail, but I don't think he strictly wants to. He's not a bad Blade Mail builder, but I think Primal Beast really needs to get to BKB. So across the board, when Blade Mail's not good, he might be a little sad, but not as sad as other offlaners. So I actually think that might be good for him. His relative value goes up because did he really want to build this compared to other items anyways? I don't think so as much. So I think that's actually good for him. Puck. 0.2 agi gain. I mean, sure, Puck is kind of weak to physical damage, so less agi gain, less attack speed, less armor. Puck's ridiculous, guys. I can't believe Puck did not get a bigger nerf than this. Puckish is just ridiculous. People have learned how to use Curveball in the laning stage, so his regen is just out of this world. The counter picks that are supposed to beat Puck are just not doing it in a lot of cases. He is still going even with them, or like he needs a single kill and he's back. It's too hard to punish Puck right now. And a 0.2 agi gain is not enough. I can't believe this. Well, okay, what about Queen of Pain? She's another one who needs a bigger nerf. Range for max lifesteal decreased from 300 to 150. So you need to be closer. You need to be 150 range closer to get max lifesteal. Okay, I mean, she does not like... Blade Mail being good is part of why she was good. So the fact that got nerfed does hurt Queen of Pain in a way that Puck does not care. Puck does not build Blade Mail. I guess the armor nerf to Witchblade is a little painful for a Puck, but... is that this big of a deal, though? Am I misunderstanding something here? This doesn't seem like the end of the world for her. The blade mail, bigger issue. I feel like she's still gonna be okay. Is the lifesteal scaling? So the lifesteal gets better. So when you are 800 units or further, you get 2% lifesteal. When you're 150 or closer, you get the maximum of 14%. So having to move from 300 to 150 matters for like some situations for how close you're in. I guess you're just healing less. Maybe this is more meaningful than I think. I guess I'll just have to see it like as people jump in. Leon, I'm multi-streaming right now, so I am on both Twitch and YouTube, whichever platform you prefer. The tip of the wave. I guess that's true. There's probably some situations where you're like using Scream of Pain, hitting multiple heroes, and you're getting like a decent chunk less. I'll have to see it. I'll have to see it in action. It doesn't seem. I'm not saying that's not a like. It's a nerf. This is a very popular hero. Queen of Pain is very popular. I mean, I'm still flabbergasted by Puck not being nerfed. I would say Puck's even better than Queen of Pain, but I am just... They're just such small nerfs. I'm surprised. I know we're 7.39D. I'm not expecting massive nerfs. We're fine-tuning patches at this point, but that's crazy to me. I can't believe it's not more. Maybe the Blade Mail will be enough. Sand King... base strength increased, okay, and the radius on Sandstorm is going up by 50. I don't think 50 is enough, but I understand it's a careful balance. The reason Sand King was really good is that you were so safe. You could win the lane, or you could at least draw even, because you would shove out the wave and then go farm multiple stacks with your Sandstorm. They took away those facets. Sandstorm became really bad because they also, although Sandstorm's base AoE increased, it couldn't hit multiple camps the way the old facets could, either because it was freaking huge and hit multiple camps, or because it followed you to different camps. I don't know the radius vibe off the top of my head because I don't play that much Sand King. I don't think 700 is enough to change that still. But with that said, I don't know if it should come back, because pretty much as soon as he has it again, he'll again be busted. He'll be too safe for picking early. Offlaner, mid, always safe, always blink at a good time because you can just farm so well. So I actually don't know if I want him to have that again. But then what is this doing is what I'm like looking at this. I wish his facet was a little better in terms of it applies the... I really need to set up a hotkey for this to make it faster. To set up the... I like the idea that when you attack heroes in your Sandstorm, it does something, but it's just like... It's only good in the landing stage, and it's not even that easy to do. I actually think he shouldn't have to attack for this to apply. I think Sandblast, like if you're in the AoE, it should just apply. Maybe it's got a building up effect, but I don't think he should have to attack. In the landing stage, it's kind of okay that he has to attack, but as soon as you're in team fights, it's like whatever. It's a freaking Sandstorm. Come on, it should just hit everyone in the eyes, you know, and just make a miss. And then this might actually be good. Oops, I went too far. Kazi, I haven't made it to Skywrath yet. We're close. We're in the S's. I'll see it in just a second. Well, it's probably going to be like 10 minutes. Shadow Demon, okay. Cast range increased from 650 to 675. I actually think Shadow Demon's pretty good. Now the meta is shifting around a little bit with this change, so we'll see what heroes end up being good. But I actually think Disruption's quite strong versus popular heroes. For example, Shadow Shaman, we'll see if he's dead. But some of the offlaners that were really good up till just now, Act with the Blade Mail, Dawnbreaker coming in, right? You can actually do so much with Disruption. And then you had your own Blade Mail in terms of Disseminate, because either it helps you kill the really tanky heroes faster, or you could use it on your Axe who's jumping in and reflect more damage. So I actually think Shadow Demon is quite good, and I see him being buffed. I think he's going to continue being good, though we'll see what heroes remain good. However, if it's illusion heroes that we're kind of seeing like some signs of them trying to make the illusion heroes good again, Shadow Demon is good with illusion heroes because of Disruption. You get to buff them up, create more illusions. So eyes on Shadow Demon. I think he's gonna get up there. Shadow Fiend, though, base armor down by 1, and then Presence of the Dark Lord armor reduction down by 1 as well. Right now you can flex mid Spellcaster Shadow Fiend and then carry Shadow Fiend. This hurts more for the carry Shadow Fiend, but it's still nice to have Spellcaster Shadow Fiend applying this. Well, I think it's good. I guess I'm not sure how big of a deal that will be, but I'm not a Shadow Fiend player. Okay, what's up with Shadow Shaman? What are we going to do to him? Mass Serpent Ward, base attack time increase from 1.5 to 1.6. So that means they attack slower. And the wards no longer deal 50% extra damage against Roshan. All right, so this doesn't matter at all to any pub players. You never see that happen in a pub game. It's a big deal for the pros, though. That's one of the value of Shadow Shaman is being able to do Rosh. Really, you can do it with the very first ultimate if you take Chungo Ward. You can take the very first Rosh pretty much by yourself. So it's going to be doing less damage because it attacks a little bit slower. And then it is still really good versus Roshan because it can tank Rosh while also doing a very sizable amount of damage. But 50% less damage, or not, it used to do 50% extra damage. You're losing that. I guess that's not technically 50. It's like 33% less damage, I guess, versus Rosh. But it's pretty rare to actually solo Rosh anyways. But it'll matter in like those niche situations, where they get real close and sometimes there are steals and all that. This is not the nerf, though, that I thought he would get. I really thought... I don't know. I mean, Ricky's going to be losing his mind. The fact that the innate's the same. Ricky is out there baby raging so hard right now. As soon as he hates this facet, the innate, sorry. He hates it so much. I don't know, guys. Keep playing Shadow Shaman. It still seems good. Still seems fine. What items are being given out by Quatero? Right now, it is these. There's a Legion Commander set, 2 tiers, a Witch Doctor set, and a Venge set. There's some effects for like different items, which are cool, but I'm going to guess temporary, so they probably matter less. And then some antiques, which are going to be random sets from the past. I don't know if there's like a showcasing of all the different sets that are available, but it's just random sets, possibly Immortals and Arcanas, but I'm guessing the odds are real teeny tiny. You need about, what did we say it was? 66 games or something on average, winning and losing, to get to about level 30. And you have about 3 months to do so. If you want the level 100, you're going to need like 200 something games, which will be a lot harder for most people. Doable for the serious try-hard Dota players. For the casuals, may not be getting the level 100. But if you do turbo, it will cut down the time a lot. Turbo should cut it down by like 33% or more. I haven't done the full math quite yet. And lately, I feel I see turbo games go longer. I don't play turbo that much, but I have heard tell that turbo games are actually dragging on longer than they used to. Silencer, base strength up by 1. Kind of a small buff. One of his only real pick case is versus Dawnbreaker. Dazzle, when he was really good, might still be okay. So, I mean, you might still see it. And then sometimes Enigmas. Other than that, you don't really see that many silencers. It was for a while, but after he got nerfed, he's dropped off again. He's like only a response pick to those 3 heroes. I don't really think 1 base strength is enough, but I guess the other heroes being relatively nerfed, they're kind of good. Oh, decreased. Oh, they're nerfing Silencer. Okay. Okay, that's for the pro scene. For pubs, I know Silencer does tend to do better just because, you know, you brain drain people and pub games are wacky, so you get the infinite scaling. I'm surprised by that, though. I guess I get it. You know, some nerfs are for the pub scene. As much as Valve tends to bounce around pro Dota, some like this maybe is for pub Dota. That's weird. That's weird to me, though, in terms of pro Dota. Skywrath Mage. Arcane Bolt. Aghanim Shard number of bolts increased from 2 to 3. We're playing Crownfall out here. I don't feel like that's that great. I don't know how I feel about this shard change. What I will say, though, is what I actually think is better for Skywrath is the item change. Skywrath essentially has a certain amount of damage he can do because you have a certain amount of spells, and that's like your upper limit, you know? So when there are more tanky heroes in the game building Blade Mail, and then, like, you know, Glimmercate was pretty popular, Forstaff was in a decent spot, it was hard to get your ultimate's damage in, and, I mean, you were, like, eating a bunch of it, and even if you did land a good ult, it was a Dawnbreaker who had 1,600 health by the time you hit level 6, so could you even kill her? That was a big part of his issue, the Skywrath Mage. I wonder if those heroes drop off, maybe he's not actually in that bad of a spot. But I haven't seen him very much, nor have I played him to actually have a great read on him. So I'm actually not sure. It's strange to me, though, a shard buff. Usually the base hero, I would be more encouraged for Skywrath's return if the base hero got a buff. This is like, oh, it'll be better when you get the Aghanim Shard, which, yeah, for supports, you're more likely to get the shard at the pro scene from the Tormentor, and, I mean, you'll be getting extra damage, so that's kind of cool. But for pubs, you still got to buy it yourself, and that means you're not actually a better hero until that time. I'll probably try Skywrath Mage. I actually kind of like him, and I haven't been playing him lately because he's just not been great. This might be a good time to give it a shot. Let's see, Snapfire, Cookie cooldown. Oh, 3 less seconds at level 1 is kind of nice. And the Mortimer's Kisses, Fire Pit pool duration increased by half a second. Ooh, that means the level 10 talent. The level 10 talent with the shard. I wish the max cooldown had gone down a little. She has a new talent. from the last patch, which added Mortimer's Kisses burn DPS, which is very interesting to me, but it wasn't quite enough to outweigh Scatterblast damage. So I was kind of hoping the buffs would lean towards that. It, like, sort of does, but still doesn't feel quite enough. Okay, Spirit Breaker. Oh, 3 more damage. And damage at level 1 is now going to be, oh yeah, 59 to 69. Oh, wait, that's what it was. To 62 to 72. Oh, yeah. I like Spirit Breaker. I actually want to play more Spirit Breaker. I don't know if this is the buff I thought he needed to be back. But your laning stage is so bad. I mean, I guess you'll take anything. However, I feel like the base damage increase is actually better for core Spirit Breaker. Maybe we'll see core Spirit Breaker. I really want to see the Aghanims on Spirit Breaker. Ever since they changed it, no one's... I mean, I'm sure people have done it, but I haven't seen it because it's just not been good. I want that to be a thing. Maybe offlane Spirit Breaker could be back. What are the item changes again? Is there anything good for him? His farming speed being nerfed is kind of why this hero dropped off. These aren't really amazing. Maybe that's the better thing about it. Like, he didn't really care about these items. So relative to other heroes, his builds aren't being affected too much. Techies. Ooh, 3. This is actually kind of big in terms of... So it's 0.2, but the stats round down in Dota. So let's say you had, for example, you had 2.8 intelligence gain. So when you hit level 2, you get 2.8, which means you technically only get 2. Then you level up again, you get another 2.8. So now you're at 5.6. So then you have 5. But it takes a while for you to actually, that like point X amount doesn't do that much until like it wraps around for whatever. So anytime you like bump up to 3, it's actually quite meaningful because when you level up, instead of comparing 2.8 to 3, so 2 to 3, and then from 5.6 to 6, you have again the 5 intelligence versus 6. So it's usually quite nice because you're getting the earlier points faster, and that's usually the best thing, at least for supports. For cores, they just like the number to be high. Whatever, they're going to scale anyways. For supports, you like it when it passes this threshold because you're actually getting the point of intelligence sooner. Okay, TA, still pretty popular amongst heroes. Amongst certain teams. Not everyone goes for TA, but she's pretty good in the right games. Base damage is going down a little bit by 2 to 3. That's a 53 to 59 to 51 to 56. Oh, I see. Okay. This was a very strange way to put it. I don't think I've ever seen that where they reduce both the minimum and maximum range, but in one line like that. I feel like you should forget this. Just have the second line. That's less confusing. Okay, and then what's this one? 25 talent. Okay. I mean, TA does hit 25 relatively consistently, just because of how the hero functions. So it's actually a meaningful nerf to her. Okay, less base damage, I guess. I feel like she keeps getting hit with nerfs, but then she still stays good. TA is a very, like, 100 or 0 hero, and she's good, she's amazing. As soon as she's bad, she's, like, garbage. So I don't know when it'll tip over. Tinker, Keen Conveyance, cooldown decreased from 80 to 50. Why does this matter? Why does this matter? Okay, so am I misunderstanding some guys? So you get Keen Conveyance when you get Rearm. For those of you that don't play Tinker, you get this at level 6. So the cooldown, it's like, oh, if I don't Rearm, then, you know, I'll have it 30 seconds faster. But who doesn't Rearm? What is the point of this? An ability draft buff? Maybe, I guess. For Rubik or Morphling? I suppose, yeah. That's a pretty niche situation. This is a very strange to me. This is very strange. I'm like racking my brain trying to think of like when this matters. Because sometimes your rearm gets interrupted for whatever reason. You're gonna cast it afterwards. You know, it being interrupted is the issue for rearm cooldown being 7, 6, or 5 seconds. Not Keen Conveyance, you know? I'm trying to think of a case where this would affect Tinker and not like, yeah, like Rubik or Morphling is a good shout out. Tinker no rearm challenge? I guess so. This is so strange, guys. This is so bizarre. I don't know. If someone has something, let me know. I cannot think of a case where this does anything whatsoever. All right, Treant Protector. DPS on the ult up by 10. 30 more damage up to 50 more damage. This sucks. Boo. When will Treant be good again? Make Treant Protector good again. For pub games, if you guys like Treant Protector, by the way, I'm shit-talking him. He's fine in a pub game. It doesn't matter. This will be a nice buff to have in pub games. But for Pro Dota, this doesn't affect it all that much. Though maybe, hold on, let me think. Can I do some cheesy bullshit? Let me see. Pull out the calculator app right now. With 10 extra damage, 95 times 5, 475. What's actually a pretty good tipping point for Treant Protector is if your ult can one-shot creep waves. That very rarely happens. But yeah, even with 95 DPS, you're not going to hit that point at even at max level. I was thinking if it ever did tip that threshold, maybe there's something you could do with like a fast ags, massive farming thing. You can technically kind of do that, but like you just don't kill creep waves very quickly. Too bad. I might play him just because I kind of miss him, but this seems pretty small. Maybe if the off-lane pool shifts around, that might be good. If there is a switch in the way the game is played. But I think a lot of the other supports, Treant is like competing with other supports more than like when he is good versus offlaners and stuff. Shadow Demon being good is a pain for Treant Protector. Shadow Shaman you can't really interrupt or do anything to. Timber Saw's in an okay spot. People are buying Quelling Blades more than ever. I don't know. Albert, I want to see what heroes are good. I think the Blade Mail being less popular and hopefully a less prevalence of like really busty offlaners, like that's the wrong way to use that word. Axe, Dawnbreaker, you know, the really bulky, that's the word I was trying to use. The bulky offlaners are kind of make Skywrath's life miserable. I think if they get less popular and you can actually kill people with your ult, that's better. This shard change might be good for pro Dota, which like rushing the Tormentor. For pub Dota, it like won't matter. I'm laughing so hard. Look, it's been said time and time again. There's not enough busty offlaners. This patch isn't even that long. Why am I messing up my words? We're only an hour and 40 into the into the patch analysis. Look, Skywrath can't be doing that. He's taken as well, you know? He can't be tempted by that kind of thing. Where were we? Undying. Okay, Undying is still a very popular offlaner and support. What's changing with him? Rotting Mitts, Flesh Golem. Zombies summoned by the Facet effect now die when Undying dies. I guess that's fair. I didn't mind them staying alive, because doesn't the Tombstone zombies keep going when he's... I guess the Tombstone zombies die when the Tombstone dies, so I mean if these are coming from... I guess it makes sense lore-wise. We can match it, I suppose. Tombstone vision range. If you guys didn't know, Tombstone actually has decent vision. It used to have even more, if I recall. But now it is down to 800, 800. I think that's reasonable. Level 10 talent decay from 40 to 30. Okay, this is the big one for offlane Undying. Offlane Undying likes Blade Mail, and this was his farming speed here. I think these changes to offlane Undying are like whatever. Support Undying could still be good. Essentially, as long as there are good offlaners, you know, the busty ones that Undying is good versus, then it's fine. For support Undying. Core Undying needs to be really good. And the Blade Mail change and this stuff should hurt it, which should hurt Undying's value to the pro scene, because part of the reason he's so popular is that you can move him from offlane to support and just like mix and match, you know. So I still think support Undying seems pretty decent. You don't pick it early. You kind of wait to see offlaners, then you grab it. If offlane Undying is still okay, we might still see him picked early, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst for offlane Undying. It really just comes down to like how big of a deal is the Blade Mail change to him. Okay, Ursa, Maul, health as damage rescaled, flat 1.25%. So overall a nerf. It's technically a buff at level 1. Maybe help with some last hitting, but for how little health you have in the early game, that's like 1 damage. So is that really a buff? Probably not. It's mostly a nerf for the rest, which he's like one of the more popular carries, so I guess. Earth Shock. Aghanim Shard Enrage duration decreased from 1.4 to 1.3. Okay, I mean, sure. It's always, I mean, the point ones are always like hard to really tell how big of an impact it'll be, but I do think, you know, it's part of the reason he's really hard to kill is like you get that shard, you have your ult, you have all these extra Earth Shocks, and it's like if you happen to hit him as like he's using it with a stun, you lose so much duration. So the shorter it is, the better. Why not? Vengeful Spirit base damage increased by 2. Okay. Agility gain decreased though. Too bad. So that is a buff to, I'd say support Venge cares more about like when you have damage sooner rather than the scaling value. That's usually good for the support. Still for core Venge, 49 to 55 is not the highest. So last hitting is actually kind of tricky. So actually having the upfront damage to improve your laning stage might actually be better than the scaling value of 0.2. Especially because, well, what's the math on that really? Is that even going to be that meaningful? Probably not. Okay. I mean, Venge is still good for pubs. I don't think this will be enough to bring her back into the pro Dota scene outside of a couple teams like offlane Venge, which maybe, you know, as Dawnbreaker drops off Axe, if they get nerfed enough, time will tell. Then maybe, you know, some other offlaners like Venge could maybe become more popular. Viper, minimum DPS going up, sure. Well, actually, that's actually kind of a lot. 15 for your minimum DPS? Huh. But not really why you're picking Viper, right? Will it help your farm speed, I guess? The fact that it procs a bit sooner? Or like that your minimum is a little higher? I really didn't expect this kind of change for Viper. Like, in terms of making him better, this is not what I would have thought. Raking, slow, less by a second, and then Zeus, leap distance. Leap distance is going to be a little higher, level 1. That's actually quite good for Zeus. Some people still find the leap complete bullshit, which, I mean, fair. But being able to leap further away to keep yourself alive is typically pretty good. And Heavenly Jump tends to stay at a value point. So extra 75. You pretty much have your level 2 leap distance now at level 1. And then it like scales up back to the same thing. Okay. Overall, a relatively small patch, which I expected. I felt we would be getting 7.39D and it would be a fine-tuning patch. I think the Blade Mail change is really good to mix up the offlaners, hopefully. Hopefully we don't just still have the same offlaners, but a little worse. I thought the mid pool of heroes would be nerfed a bit more. And I kind of thought the support pool would be mixed up a little bit more too. But to be fair, when one role changes, it does affect the others, especially any of the side lane. Because, like, what heroes pair with those strong offlaners and those strong carries that are being picked as a response to the offlaners and stuff, right? That affects the support pool. So maybe it'll be a bigger mix-up than I think, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't even know if that's enough. Might still just be the same. It'll just be a little worse. Who seems the most interesting change-wise? I don't even know if I have a standout. It was all pretty small. Yeah, like, what actually was our biggest surprise? When I saw two faceless void facet changes, I was like PogChamp, but then I read them. That's pretty much how I feel too. Pretty minor stuff. I guess the biggest change is free items, because the other stuff is pretty sad. Oh, you can see people's Quatero levels. Okay. What do I think will be good? I mean, there's heroes that I think are still going to be fine. Maybe there's not really a standout because of how small the patch is. This feels like maybe one of the more sizable support nerfs. I think he's still going to be okay. Is NP a big loser? The thing is, I think he was S tier, and then it's a good nerf, but I still think he's like A to B tier. Yeah, lower NP priority for pro Dota, but for pub Dota, I mean, we have the first pick the supports like all the time, so you know, just going in. Doesn't even matter. Base damage? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing really sticks out to me. I guess I just have to see how much the offlane pool changes, which is just not going to matter for pub Dota, which is what we play, you know? Like, that's all the same. No one ever even follows the meta in pub games. Yeah, puck nerf super gentle, to put it lightly. Insanely gentle. Would I really even change anything here? Well, I guess we'll play some Dota. Who do we want to play? Still test nature. Could try out Venge. I haven't played Dota in a while. I'm not gonna lie. I'm rusty. We've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I shouldn't start with anything too crazy. For example, I think Shadow Demon is good, but I'm bad at Shadow Demon, so we should keep him high. Pugna didn't even get touched. I think Pugna's good. Bounty Hunter Conda. Bring it back. Oh, let's throw Skywrath in here. I probably shouldn't start with him because I'm not very good at Skywrath. But I'm going to play him in the future. Oh, Warlock was a fine hero. He didn't even get touched. Truly a fine-tuning patch, which I will play devil's advocate. I think you should be doing a very small patch as you get close to TI. I want to see the best the pro players have practiced and theory crafted, not like, okay, just roll the dice. You have like 2 weeks to figure out. So I don't mind it. And when hero pools get more balanced, you actually have the flexibility to do other things, right? There's one style to change whatever's the most broken hero. That's like the league approach. Like, these are the broken heroes. This is what you're playing this season. That happens when you get a new big patch in Dota, but when it finally gets fine-tuned to like, yeah, these heroes are all viable, you actually do have the flexibility to then be like, I don't want to be a Dawnbreaker team. I want to play Slardar off lane, you know, stuff like that. So maybe this actually will be quite good. Maybe it brings heroes together enough. I don't really think so, but I like to stay optimist. So is Kez captain's mode? Nah. Unfortunately, if it wasn't this patch, I don't think he's making it, which I kind of get. A month to learn Kez and all the various matchups is not a lot. So he probably won't be in captain mode till next TI. No more tier 1 mini tourney before TI. What else is there? I think there's another Fissure tournament. I'm not sure about the rest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else there is tournament-wise. Go back to our regular streaming. Okay. I gonna get more water since we just talked and read for like 2 hours. It was actually a lot shorter than I thought. And then I guess we'll play something. I'll have to think about what we want to play. But yeah, we'll play some Dota. It's been a while. Let's do it. This isn't where this goes. Aw. Okay, I'm back. My fiance bought a watermelon, so I was carrying that in for her. And then it's getting warm here, so I had to go get my fan. Maybe we do some trusty old Venomancer. Can't go wrong with Venomancer. Maybe we'll put Treant Protector in here again, too.
Thoughts cross my mind as the sun.
Like, how many buffs in a row does he need to be good again, you know? This one's pretty useful for creep cutting. I haven't played him in so long. Because every time I see a patch, I'm like, it's not good enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. I still feel that way, but... maybe it's time. We could do NP2. I wouldn't mind. Enchantress, I want to get warmed back up first. Probably not today. We're probably just doing like 1 or 2 games today, and then I'll make the YouTube video summary of it. And then we'll be back tomorrow, of course. We'll be doing Dota all day, which it's been a while. We've been playing so much Elden Ring. But this is a pretty small patch, honestly. How much into Dota are we going to get back? It feels pretty minor. True, maybe I'm ready to parry. Play Kez and parry some stuff. Please play Veno. I feel like I'm slipping on the hero so bad. I need a good refresher course. I do like Veno. I think the hardest part of Veno is usually the laning stage. I think once you get past that, a lot of the old Veno stuff kicks in. But if you step too far, it's easy to get caught out. I guess I have to figure out... well, if we're only playing 2 games... because I didn't expect this patch to come out. I gotta eat at some point. You tried Skywrath, felt okay. Don't know if it was already mentioned, but Insane Spirit Vessel Untouched. I actually don't mind that too much. I think the item was kind of good. First of all, I like the change to make it build from the circlet, all that. I think that was good. I don't think the item is like super broken, but I do think it was pretty good because there were so many tanky heroes. But now that they're nerfed, I think there's going to be less value to the Spirit Vessel. Maybe we aren't playing. I hope so. Shard's good in team fights. Noticeable damage output. Let's see it. Let's see.
My power is summoned. Court mage to the nest of thorns am
I actually don't think you should max Q first, but I don't know. Maybe with the Shard you would. Let's try it.
Thought this through? Obelisk, guide me. Appius, may it please you. When you left...
150, 1.5.
As it is in my power.
Does Mystic Flare kill illusions? I don't even remember that.
Those who tangle with the Skywrath risk a fall from starry eye. Leap of faith.
Oh, was that whoever got hit first?
I go as bid. Under attack. By my wings.
How strange.
Indeed.
I guess that makes sense.
Very well then.
Maybe if illusion heroes get good, then that'll be nice for Skyrath. Oh, the player base is back. Match 4. I think we'll play Venomancer or Natures. I think I actually feel a little bit more comfortable with... Here's the thing. I'm going to say I feel more comfortable with Venomancer. We're going to feed in the laning stage, and then after that, we'll be good again. Natures is banned anyway, so... Let's go freaking Veno! Yeah! Venomancer Enhancer! We got ET on our team. Off-lane ET, maybe doing the Ags build. That might buff up our magic damage quite a lot. Might be a good case to go Patient 0 for that reason. A bunch of extra AoE damage, but I like Plague Carrier, so... Position 4 Muerta, Leshrac. We have a heavy magic damage team here. Yeah, someone like Lifestealer. Yo, this is a scary ass lane. We need to be... It's so tempting to want to get Orb of Frost, but I think I need to bulk up. We need to match the burst potential from these heroes. Whatever the combo ends up being is so scary. I think I have to get the circlet. And then if no one else is buying a blood grenade, I'm going to buy 2. And then probably buy a salve real quick. Oh, timestamp.
Venomancer.
Nice. If no one's buying it, I'm gonna buy it. But
Better get ready. My venom flows.
I'm gonna start with my team. We'll block the camp when we go to lane.
With vim and venom.
I'm not open mic, right? No, we're good.
A touch of venom.
Just rambling to my team.
This one's in the bag.
I suppose it's in the bag. Quick as venom. 30 seconds to showtime.
Interesting. Is that a good ward on top lane? I don't think you usually need to do that kind of stuff. I think for these two, it might work out. Because one, you can get some, like... Deadshot's really long range, and if you can surprise them, you can, like, cancel salves, things like that.
Double kill.
You can't run from the venomous one. I just have a seat right over there.
Let the smart people work.
Seeing if she's going to teleport in. If not, okay. Might be obvious what I just did, but I don't really want to. Oh, it is techies. Yo, where's my courier? How come it's not coming over? Ah! Frickin' split the difference on that. If I hit her with the Q, I'd probably have killed her. Making her miss last hits at least. Probably gonna lose the Lotus for this. I feel so rusty. I think we can still get a half pull. Nice. I should have just stood and attacked. That was bad of me. Kind of baited myself. Oh, is this an earn game? I think so. Even though it's Medusa, I think it'll still be good to have versus the others. Oh, that's definitely bad. All part of the plan. Totally knew it was going to happen that way. I mean, to be fair, Treant was super meta for, I think, over a year. So I kind of get You know, if they're being a little on the careful side. Gonna reveal we have a ward to get this kill. Aw. Oh, we kept Lifestealer alive with that Lotus at least. Unfortunately, this rotation is not panning out. That was a good idea too. We'll just get the XP here. Uh-oh, maybe I should have TP'd there. I saw he didn't have TP though on Leshrac, and I wanted to get the... Didn't want it to go wasted. He did end up going... I shouldn't have ran through the mid lane. That was bad. As long as he kills her, it's okay. We'll say it's a bait. Whew. Sick bait, guys. That's all that little stuff that I feel like you just forget to think about in the heat of the moment. Maybe I want raindrops. I want these boots, though. I need to give him a ward bottom, and then I need to start playing with his ET. I think I'm actually going to start getting more points in Plague Ward, but I don't know. I kind of want to try maxing this. I should have actually TP'd there. I wasn't really paying attention enough. Let's see if there are stacks for Medusa. Oh, they smoked. I thought we were calling the smoke. Joseph, use whatever you want. The important thing is being good at whatever you're pressing quickly. The actual... Uh-oh. The actual buttons you press don't matter. Oh, this is becoming a disaster. I'm kind of feeding. We're 1-6. Expected when we take such a long break. You'll see pros with all sorts. Quick cast, normal cast, legacy keys, which is crazy to me. People use all sorts of different stuff. So as long as you're good at it, that's all that matters. The important thing is feeling comfortable with it, which people like different things about it. Tusk Snowball does not remove the slow, but it wastes time, and the snowball itself is not slowed, so that by the time you make it to your target, you may not be slowed anymore. I need to get my level 6. Since we started to feed, the points in poison are for better damage, but if we're feeding, then we need more points in E to live. Oh shit, he's got a blink. Clicked my own ward instead of... I was probably in range for the Spirit Vessel and I missed it. Should I even finish this? With how we're playing. I was trying to get that Tusk. Maybe my wards will still do it. Nope. Get them, wards! Maybe they will do it! Get them! Nah, too tanky. Yeah, we need this Ghost Scepter so Marcy doesn't just keep killing us. Where are we on the Radiant? Medusa's gonna be rich. Need to ward. The blade mail is destroying him. keep missing Qs, guys. Terrible. Oh no. Damn, this ult lasts forever.
Double kill.
Your mid tower's coming apart.
I'm not having mana issues. I die every 30 seconds. It's okay. This is the warm up. Exactly. It's all part of the plan.
Might want to check your bottom tower. You can't run from
Honestly, it's not even that bad yet. It's a little bad. We haven't seen Medusa in a while. I don't think I can really do much for her. I'd rather push out another lane. Somewhere back here then? This Marcy scares me. Slowest spirit vessel in the world. Kind of useless at this point. But I'm already this far into it, so... Whoa, who's that? Thank you. Whoa, whoa. We're doing it. I miss so much CS.
That top tower here is ain't doing so
good. Yeah, Medusa's gonna be a problem. We do have the ET counter, which is nice. Jeez. Should I try? I feel like I'm gonna misclick and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna look like a fool. Okay, I either want a 4-staff or... Shard might be good to get the stuns. I'm just gonna buy the 4-staff. I should not have woken her up from the sleep. Aw, man. Tell you what, if I had that 4-staff, I would have lived. Guess wards aren't the biggest deal for them to deal with this game. Well, kinda is. Yeah, let's get the slow. I think it'll help Lifestealer. She went the Mjolnir. She's getting Ags next. I mean, I should get a pipe. We'd reduce a lot of damage. Regurgitated. We're gonna hit a window where the game is pretty tough, but then I think the ET Ags may eventually win us. She's living longer than I expected, but I don't think we can get in there and save her without dying. I swear I do wish I had the -1 Plague Ward cooldown. She's trying to bait me, but this is why wards are good. Shit, we're doing this, huh? If more of the team had immediately come when he went for that Earth Splitter combo, that fight might have worked out. But he just kind of did that apropos of nothing, so the team was not ready. I guess one downside, Venomancer and Radiance and Leshrack's uncontrollable AoE damage, these do not play nice with the ET Medusa counter. I guess that's okay. Oh, actually, no. You know what? You're right. Even with the random AoE damage, the sleep should still be pretty good. Because most of the damage should be absorbed by Mana Shield anyways. That's the whole point. Right. I really want the Shard. They have several Dispels now. I feel like the stun will be quite nice. But I do think the team needs this Aghanims. Medusa's going this Mjolnir Ags build. She just finished it, I think. So she's going to proc Mjolnir every single attack.
Go get him. With Vim and Venom.
I haven't decided on the boots. Sometimes you do Arcanes. I've been feeding. It would have been good with Leshrack, usually. But as you see, I've got a lot of deaths. So I never actually even lived long enough to really need it anywhere. I just kept dying. There's a lot of items I want this game. Do we do GPM? Serrated Shiv. Lol. I think I just need to keep surviving and take up attention. I never remember to use Gale Guard though. They should probably go for Roche. Damn, dead in one stun. Why is this the closest teleport? Holy shit. Both teams madge. I didn't Gale Guard either, damn. I think I live if I Gale Guard. At least I live a little longer. I Ghost Sceptered, which was dumb. I took more damage versus that Techies. I think my buyback has kind of paid off, though. The fact that we killed Medusa. Was that really on me? But I provided the mental strain, the pressure, the fear. And doing Roshan would be really good. That's right. You can now Radiance burn him down. In but a mere 7 hours. I guess all Forest Ethereal is kind of interesting, actually. I hadn't thought about that. But I guess it's kind of good versus the physical damage they've got. Kind of scary versus the Techies, but...
Quick as venom.
Oh, good.
I missed that. Maybe it's because I've got the negative damage.
Big on our foes. A touch of
This is the deepest ward we've managed to place this game. Not sure about this.
agitation.
Oh shit! I once again did not Gale Guard. Rest in peace, bottom racks. Yeah, we need Lifestealer in that if we're gonna even try. I should have said something. Well, I'm kind of playing quietly because I'm just trying to not be useless since we're out of touch. If I start trying to communicate, I'm gonna throw myself even further off, and we are already at 14 deaths. So. I'm just going along with those kind of smokes, even though I don't strictly think they're all the best. Okay, what do we want to get next? We can maybe go for a boot upgrade, like Greaves. I think my job still is just like live, add control. My team has like so much damage between them. Don't want Medusa to have these. But I have the other ward over there. Might provide a good target on... What's her name, though?
With vim and venom. Invisibility. As you say.
Scary, scary. I want to cut a creep wave before I leave. Oh no.
Yo estoy esperando a que muera para entrar. Bien, nice. Sabía que
I should have piped him sooner.
Lo sabía muy bien. Lo sabía muy bien.
Getting shook up.
As you say.
A ver qué hace sin mí. Quiero ver. Ay, Dios, este imbécil. Nacen siendo retrasados, ¿no?
Well, the creeps will deal with it. Alright. I think we're slowly losing here. As far as warm-up games go, not the worst. But I definitely died, oh, I don't know, 7 times more than necessary. And my warding was kind of bad, though some of it is just we've been stuck here a whole time sooner. Gave Marcy too good of a start as well. We got 500 gold. What can we buy before the final fight comes up here? They're probably going to wait for Roche and then get that on Medusa and then go high ground for the last barracks. What we could do is to smoke, find pickoffs, all that, delay that. I don't think I really have the capacity to organize that at this time. so fast. I think they're grouping down here right now. If we were set up already, I think we could go. Looks like the team still wants to try, but yeah. I think we should have just been pushing at other stuff. There's a lot more I can do in those situations, I think. What in the world? I guess there's an observer somewhere here. Why not? Any little bit. We're doing it. I was gonna say I should have been more careful in case I didn't have buyback, but I forgot I already used it, so screw it. What? How come that one exploded so quickly? Okay, they're all up now. We pretty much... Okay, we need to find Dawnbreaker on some future smokes, for example. I think is what we do to drag things out further.
You can't run from the venomous one.
This is stupid. Poor courier's been flying 5 miles every which way. And I get a Hex. My ward's paying off, guys. That's what you want out of that stuff. I knew there was a risk. I did not calculate kick into 7 mines kind of risk. I was thinking Marcy jumps me kind of risk. Mines cleared, let's say. That's the kind of feeding I think if I was more in touch. I wouldn't have allowed to happen. But of course it was actually just the 30-second bait. Let him get a kill, let him think he's safe. Trick him into getting killed later. Also, how come this thing isn't changing? Is this bugged out? What do I even get now? Lincoln's Lotus. Armor on the Lotus. Reflect double hexes. I'm kind of tempted to buy a gem, except for the fact that I've died 16 times this game. Man, where will I even put this Lotus? I have no space. I think the Spirit Vessel is actually worth the least. Because of the BKBs and Dispels. Disaster. Honestly, should just be sitting in base a bit more in those kind of situations. As a team, it's very risky to move out like that. The way the game's been going. I should have been with my team a little sooner, though. Ah! Almost. Kind of close, guys. You think we got this? Oh, Medusa buyback. Actually, okay. In Medusa feeds, there's actually a world where we run it down, take the base. I guess I should at least go buy this. One ancient and a dream. Hey, and two, what are these called again? Like the moon huts? Oh, those are effigies, actually. The moon huts are all dead. Just kidding. I don't even remember if the courier can pick up this stuff anymore. I caught the banner. Oh, there's cheese down too. Risking my courier for the cheese is actually probably worth it. Holy shit. E.T. Paunch. That may have screwed her over worse than just letting her get snowballed. There's not much to do in these kind of situations. We played kind of badly. Shit game, morons. Dota hasn't changed. I don't really mind too much. We died a couple times needlessly. That's from being rusty. The poor positioning kind of got us killed on Techie's Dawnbreaker. We also played the wrong parts of the map at several points. Oh, this is nifty. I didn't know this was a thing. Is that new? Or did I just never go over that slide? The lane was still going okay for a while, but I forget which one it was. There's one rotation where things really fell apart. Leshrat came and they rotated everyone, and then it was a disaster. It was going okay up till that point. But part of my deaths gave Marcy too good of a start. For a slow farming hero. It's okay, we got our 250 250 loss XP. Phew. TA just keeps getting nerfs after nerfs because they're not doing enough. She's still so good. Maybe this final push to nerf her, I don't know, it was like what, 3 damage? Oh yeah, the weird two damage minimum, 3 damage max. And then some meld strike at 25. Pretty minor. It's good to be back, though not quite back yet. We still need to do a little bit more getting back into form. I think it's been almost a month. Yeah, I was last playing on the 11th of July, and then we had casting, and I decided to just play Elden Ring, waiting for the patch. I was still we did a couple replay streams, I think, in here, and all that. So I was still, like, up to date with the mental knowledge of Dota for the most part, but just the mechanics of everything are really, really rusty. Oh, applesauce, that was you? GG. I weighed you down, honestly. As you can see, I was not a good teammate here. I've been off for a little bit, so I kind of fed in my lane a bit. I made the game hard. You've been gone for that long? Yeah, I just wasn't that excited about making Dota content. Casting is like forever ongoing, and it pays the most, so, you know, stay up to date with that. And because of that, I still know what to do. But some people are different. For me, if I don't play Dota for like a week, I already feel my habits drop. So a month is quite a while. That honestly went better than expected. And I think our main issues, I think if I hadn't been versus such a punishing lane like Techie's Dawnbreaker, I think it would have looked better. But that's one where you just step out a little too far and you're just 100-0 dead, which is such a pain. No, I don't bother banning anything. I don't really care about MMR. So, you know, if I wanted to pick certain heroes and like ban out the counters, I could, but I don't care about MMR. I prefer to see all the broken heroes so I can tell you guys how to deal with them, things like that. So I just leave them. I get rusty when I don't play in like 2 days. I know, right? It's so fast. Yeah, the Shaman nerf was harder than... it's harder than I think some cores. I can't believe Puck got away with like nothing. Blade Mail and offlaners took the biggest nerfs. I'd say like medium nerfs at most for the Blade Mail. And then like Puck touched barely. Quap barely. And Shadow Fiend, I feel, got a bigger nerf than those two, and he's not even as relevant. He's good, but still not as good as the others. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fine tuning patch for TI coming up, so I guess it is what it is. Well, I was kind of thinking I'd play one more game, but I am pretty hungry. And I guess we have to do our video as well, so maybe we will just stop here for today, and we'll stream again tomorrow. Back to playing Dota, figure out who we want to play. Probably still some more comfort heroes as we get back into it, but I do want to play some Spirit Breaker and maybe some Skywrath Mage. I think they and Venge Spirit. We'll put the spirits and the Skywrath people all together. I think they're some of the ones I'm interested in playing, not because I strictly think they're good, but because I haven't played them lately, and this is a smaller patch, so I don't really want to play some of the same stuff again. That's part of the reason I took the break, because it's like, should we play Nature's Prophet for another year? You know? How much Nature's Prophet should I play? I think other heroes, okay, since this patch wasn't that big, I do want to, once we get back into form, I think I want to spend some time playing new stuff just for the fun of it. And I think these 6 are currently top of my list. Oops. Standing out. The Skywrath people, Spirit Breaker, Pugna, Shadow Demon, and Enchantress. I'll think over that overnight, but they're kind of at the top of, maybe we'll start checking these guys out. Looks like the coordinator's back. I think I'll still stop so I have time to make the video and eat and all that. We're going to be streaming tomorrow anyhow. Yeah, I was hoping for a meta shakeup, but I kind of knew with TI pretty close. I didn't really expect it. Didn't really expect it. Okay. That there. Okay, everything's still good. Okay, yeah. Pugna's cracked in this bracket. I think Pugna looks good in general. Yeah, I think he's still being slept on. I think he's going to be one of the most popular heroes at TI. Well, we'll see exactly what shifts in the patch, but I personally think he was a little bit slept on already going into this patch. And then to not be touched while other people are being nerfed, I think is Pugna stonks. Yeah, before we end, we can just answer any random question you guys got. Any major stuff? Nothing that big. Blade Mail was the biggest nerf, which should affect like Dawnbreaker, Axe, Legion, Undying. Those are probably the most popular ones you see in your pubs. Queen of Pain affected by the Blade Mail nerf, but her nerfs itself were actually kind of on the small side. I still think Shadow Shaman's going to be great for pubs. If you guys are Dark Willow players, I would do that. I don't really think any of the supports got dumpstered by this patch. So if you liked any of them, just keep playing them. They might be a little worse. It shouldn't be that bad. I'd say Dazzles. Of all heroes, 15 mana on Shadow Wave feels like one of the heavier nerfs. And Dazzle caught on. I'll admit. While I was taking my break from Dota, I know that Dazzle became more popular in the meta. So maybe it's a little more deserved than I fully realized, like that I personally experienced, Nature's nerf to Sprout will hurt his laning stage, and I still think he'll be good because of teleport. This is what a meme that is. And then I guess that's it actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, they nerfed Silencer for whatever reason. Barely buffed Puck or Nyx. Crazy. Why Shroud neutral? I mean, it got nerfed. I think the nerfs to it were fair. 50% off the starting evasion, and it's going to drop by 75%. So the first hit's guaranteed. The second hit's already pretty low in terms of evasion, and then after that, it's like really small. And it's only going to last 5 seconds. So personally, I think that's okay. I do understand it was one of the stronger ones. So it could have maybe been hit harder. But I didn't think they were going to take out any neutrals like in the 7.39D. Is Nyx 4 still viable? So I don't actually think Nyx is all that great. I think his win rate in pubs is barely above 50, which is pretty good considering that I think the hero's garbage. His laning is so bad after they took away the insta-kill on the creeps. But the laning stage just doesn't matter for a lot of pub games. And being an invis assassin is very good, no matter how slow you get there for pub games. So if you like Nyx Assassin, you can still play in position 4. He is good versus Dawnbreaker as well. So if you're seeing a lot of Dawnbreakers, he's good with Dawnbreaker too. So that's nice. You don't really see 3 Nyx anymore. That was all Mind Flare times when you could reach the like Dagon 5 real quick. That's true. Gossamer was good. I think they're trying to balance it out by the fact that this only works once until you die, you know? I like that idea. It may still need fine-tuning, I'll admit, but I like the idea of you get this, then it's gone, type thing, until you die, and then it's back. Maybe they could nerf it a little further. You know, maybe like 100% evasion is the starting point. Or maybe the health threshold is lower. If the health threshold is lower, that means you get closer to killing them. And at 50%, when you get the lucky second or third hit, it's like, they lived anyways. You know, but maybe if the threshold's lower, you more consistently do the starting damage. You then proc at like 30%, let's say. And then it's, you know, if you do get that second or third hit that are lucky, maybe you've killed them, you know, and maybe that'll be more balanced. Would it be more of a nerf to actually pop it at higher HP? Maybe. That might be another good way to do it. It pops easily and it doesn't refresh until you die or get a kill. The pros of that is that it's very easy. If it's high health, it's easy to poke and then just back off. The downside is that when you actually want to kill them and you jump, it's proccing so early that you're wasting your like initial gap closer, stun, whatever. I'm not sure what would be better. I'd be open to either change to explore it. I didn't even know it reset until you died. I kind of forget that it resets on kills as well. I think that's maybe the broken part. Maybe it shouldn't reset on kills, or maybe you need 2 kills, because the problem is, like, someone who's doing really well, I'm going to use PA, but she's not really a good example. Maybe Queen of Pain's better. It's like you jump in aggressively with that extra evasion, you get the kill, you get more evasion, you know, you can keep going aggressive. The snowball kill potential with Sister Shroud, that's, to me, scarier than like, oh, I got away once and I'm not gonna get away again unless I die, you know, and it resets, or I get a kill, I suppose, you know. But I would be okay taking away the kill reset part. Mana neutral items are usually quite good, to be fair to you, Galaxy Brain. They mana is like the hardest to buy cost efficiently, and you need it a lot for farming. So usually early mana items are pretty safe bets. Okay, guys. I am going to stop for today. I'll be back tomorrow. We will be playing Dota to figure out the patch. And if the patch really didn't shift that much, you know, Dawnbreaker last game still looked pretty good. I'll reevaluate at that point, but I do want to start to get back into Dota for you know, TI is in like a month. It'll be fun, so I want to be you know, up to date, getting the videos out and everything. So we will be playing more Dota. We might still sneak in some Elden Ring because we started the DLC. I'm gonna forget. Maybe it's not the end of the world, but we're like, I guess I don't know how long the DLC is, but we're like a quarter into it, so I don't know. It's too far in to just stop now. I wish I had known the patch was coming. I would have just saved it. Oh well. We'll decide when to do that at some point. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you had a good time. Happy to be back. Happy to see a lot of you guys again. I know not everyone was watching Elden Ring, so yeah. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna go eat food. Bye.